It's number 3 on Patreon week 7. This one's sent in by Shantae.
Oh my gosh, and don't we know Shantae?
We do know Shantae. We love Shantae.
That is
Shantae's
correct.
told us a lot of fun stories about her life. And she's always so sweet in the comments and the chat. Everyone loves Shantae.
That's right.
This is Queen Latifah, Joe. I don't think we've ever... I think this is a weekly top 5 first.
Yeah, definitely.
The rhyme it is wicked. Those that don't know how to be pros get evicted. A woman could bear you, break you, take you. Now it's time to rhyme. Can you relate to assistance open up to make you holler and scream?
Hey, yo, let me take it from here, queen. Excuse me, but I think I'm about due to get into precisely what I am about to do. I'm conversating to the folks who have no whatsoever clue. So listen very carefully as I break it down for you. Merrily, 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 hyper, happy, overjoyed. Please, with all the beats and rhymes my sisters have employed. Look, soon throwing down the sound totally a yes. Let me state the position. Ladies first, yes?
Yes.
Ladies first. Believe me when I say being a woman is great to see. I know that all the fellas out there will agree with me. Not for being one, but for being with one. Cause when it's time for loving, it's the woman that gets them strong. Stepping, strutting, moving on, rhyming, cutting, and not forgetting. We are the ones to give birth to the new generation of prophets. Cause it's ladies.
I break into a lyrical freestyle. Grab the mic, look at the crowd and see smiles. Cause they see a woman standing up on her own too. Sloppy slouching is something I won't do. Some think that we can't flow. Stereotypes, they got to go. I'ma mess around and flip the scene into reverse.
With what?
With a little touch of ladies first.
Wow. We got some intense imagery here, Joe.
I really am in. I like this.
What do you think this is? Like early 90s? Mid 90s?
I think so. I mean, that's the sound. This sound makes me think early 90s.
Yeah. And Queen Latifah is... I've never heard a Queen Latifah song.
I think she sang at the Oscars this week.
Oh.
I think she sang a song from The Wiz, maybe? Yeah, I think so. But
she got excellent flow.
But she sang it. This is completely different. She was rapping.
She's rapping here.
Yeah. I don't know much about Queen Latifah's music career.
I know. Her name is infamous. Everyone knows her name.
Wait, scroll up. What did that say?
1981.
Oh, that's the label.
Oh.
Tommy Boy Records.
Boy Records. Oh, okay.
I was going to say, I was like, what? There's no way this song is from 1981. That would be insane.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a year on this.
Yes.
Let's see.
Dang,
the
Queen
flow
Latifah.
from Monie is unmatched. Yeah, Monie. Okay, that's
her
the
flow.
other.
Oh, it says it on the title thing there.
And yeah, I was thinking her flow is great too. She has like rhymes within the rhymes. Like if there's a line, and typical rhyme scheme is like the end of each line will rhyme with each other, but she has like rhymes within each line. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so good with this word stuff. But yeah, I was pretty impressed with her as well. So they're talking about, obviously they have the map with South Africa, and then there's a lot of like pretty brutal, devastating imagery. Some kind of war. Is this like South African apartheid?
1989, Mike.
1989.
Dang. Mike, it was so early in the 90s that it was the 80s.
Whoa. So is this about South African, like kind of like revolution or like civil rights movement or something?
Probably, but I'm kind of seeing it more, probably because that was a pretty, obviously, that 1989, that's right around, the big movements there at that time. Because what did apartheid end in the mid 90s? I think.
I actually don't know, but I think you're right. And Nelson Mandela came into power.
But she seems to. But the song is obviously specifically describing like activism and fighting from women.
Yes.
to push things forward.
ladies
Ladies
first.
first. What starts with that picture of Harriet Tubman, and then among other influential women. But yeah, I want to. I think it's interesting to always. It's always fun to hear, not fun, but it's interesting to hear the different angle of the iconic people in history, and so often the women get kind of like shoved down. You know, like in all these huge movements, you hear about these you hear about these people, and so way too often women get pushed to the side by movements, whether it's movements from like like revolutions or civil rights movements or something like that, whether they be black or white or any race. It's so often that it feels like a lot. It's never like led by the women, and the women is always pushed into second. The men always get the main movement. Obviously, women's like suffrage, that's going to be the women, because there were no men and pushing that really before.
There were no men pushing it, Joe?
I don't know, not many. Back in the 1920s.
I wasn't there. I don't really remember.
I actually don't know if there was any man that would be considered like monumental, besides like I think Woodrow Wilson, I guess, but he's kind of, I don't know about that, because he was the president when women got the right to vote.
Well, either way,
we're getting a little deeper here.
There's a lot to consider and think about, and I'm gonna have to do some research now after watching this.
Leave one here, listen to this rhyme. Ladies first, there's no time to rehearse. I'm divine and my mind expands throughout the universe. A female rapper with a message to send. The Queen Latifah is a perfect specimen.
My sister, can I get some?
Sure, Monie love, grab the mic and get dumb.
Yo, praise me not for being simply what I am. Born in L-O-N-D-O and sound American. You dig exactly where I'm coming from. You want righteous rhyme and I'ma give you some to enable you to age yourself and get paid. And the material that has no meaning, I wish to slay. Pay me every bit of your attention, like mother, like daughter. I would also like to mention, I wish for you to bring me to the rhythm of which is now systematically given. Desperately stressing, I'm the daughter of a sister who's the mother of a brother who's the brother of another. Plus one more. All four have a job to do. We doing it respect due to the mother who's the root of it. And next up is me, the MONIELOVE, and I'm first cause I'm a LAZIE.
Contact, and in fact, the style it gets harder. Cooling on the scene with my European partner, laying down track after track, waiting for the climax. When I get there, that's when I tax the next man or the next woman. It doesn't make a difference. Keep the competition coming, and I recite chapter in verse. The title of this recital is Ladies First. Are on the mic. The scene is ripe, the crowd is hype. I expel the whack and those who bite. Why? Cause I'm that type, swaying with beats 45 King style. He wants me to sing, but I'll swing so meanwhile. A footnote for the opposite sex. Monie rip the mic, I rock it next. Plex, you never catch me at my worst. You get the drift? It's ladies first.
Dang. Yeah, with the specifying South Africa, it has to have relevance, especially with the time period.
Yeah, it's got to, right?
But I love the era of this music too. It's so fun to hear.
It really is. The beats and like it's such a unique style of rapping.
Yeah.
Well, it's quintessential of the time, is that what you'd say? That's kind of where it came from, but I feel like there's been so many eras of like different styles of rapping since then that I sometimes forget. I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of where it started, like this style.
Yeah, and the beat, the way the beat is, and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's just so classic, and we did talk about it, and actually like seeing it overlaid with a song like this, which is obviously a powerful song with a lot of meaning and intention, and all that. It's funny because that style of music, by the time you and I are conscious, it's like it became kind of like cheesy.
Oh, this sound.
Like
Well,
it
yeah,
wasn't. It
'cause-
was probably awesome when and it is still. It's not, I'm not discouraging it now. I'm just saying. But when we were younger, this is probably like not by the late 90s. They're using these whoever is using these sounds and like corporatizing it and making it this kind of like corny. Like, let me tell you how you're gonna learn things. We're gonna go to the next level now.
Educational videos.
Like educational, like very light, like childlike things, which is just really weird because I think they were just trying to be like, these are the things that young, cool, new kids are into. So we're gonna make music like this, and then so like
people trying to make money and
yeah,
or appear relevant and cool, relatable.
oh yeah.
Like, look, we get it. It's like, I don't think you do.
You definitely don't, because if you're gonna listen to this song and hear this style of music and then just kind of make this absurd, like off inspiration from or be inspired by this music and make it corny and weird, like teaching kids about math or something, I guess there could be worse things.
That's just what happens.
It is, but like you hear the song, so that's the one thing that's kind of like getting rectified in my brain is hearing this type of beat and even this rhythm of rapping kind of that had been like kind of co-opted by the mid to late 90s, and that's the way that I always heard it because that's the way I was growing. That's when I was growing up. That's the versions of this style of rap that I would have heard. But hearing it in 1989, obviously I didn't hear that, and I didn't know about this song, and so but in 1989 this is like fresh, it's new, it's something exciting. But by like 1997 it's just this, it's like it's the repeated.
It's the same what happened with hair metal.
Yeah.
Grunge came along, and within a few years it was just like hair metal was the lamest thing on the planet.
It became so corny.
It's like grunge was cool, hair metal was lame.
And it takes away from the greatness of the original. Like the original.
Yeah, but then
Some years go by and you come back to it.
Once those trends, the next trend fades, the next one emerges, and the cycle continues. And then you can look back on it like we are now, more than 30 years later, and be like, this is sick. Well, especially since I've never heard this song before.
Yeah.
I can like appreciate it. And like I didn't hear it back then and think, oh, this is cheesy or something.
Yeah.
Even if I did, it wouldn't make any difference, because when I was a kid listening to hair metal, I'd be like, "Oh, this is cheesy," but then I was like, "But it's awesome."
Yeah, it is. Actually, one that I think about that I've been able to be the adult to see the transition of this style of music is like the EDM wave of the 2010s.
Oh,
like the first times, like when we were first hearing Avicii and those songs, like, oh yeah, this is like for me, like that was really new in the United States. It really blew up in like 2009, 2010, 2011, and it was fresh and everything like that. And now it's just like every stupid like realtor video in like 2018 on
corporate America comes in and ruins it.
Man, and everything is just like, come on, let's go. And you're like, oh man, this is bad. The amount of like mid 2010s EDM music, like look up any video of like a fancy house in Beverly Hills, like then some dude in a suit, like, we're gonna check out this 19-bedroom, 37.5 bath house in Beverly Hills, priced at $123 million. It's like that song is like, it's just some like rip off Zed song from like 2015.
Yeah, but to tie back in, we often talk about how artists are inspired by the world around them and world events. And, artists back in the day are no exception. Like, this is what you write about, what you know, what you're seeing, what things are making you feel. And so I'm really curious about exactly, because obviously Queen Latifah is American. I'm assuming
Monie Love?
Monie Love. She did say I was born in, I think she said London. She spelled London, I think. So presumably she's
British.
So she's British. But either way, neither of them are South African, but it was clearly affecting them to write a song about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one thing that, it always is affecting. Like all of the history is always present, especially that history.
Yeah. So I'm just curious because, this is before our time, so I wasn't aware of the presence of like South African news in the mainstream American news outlet media. And so now I'm curious, like, oh yeah, what actually did happen? Because I've only heard like bits and pieces over the years.
Me too, but I do generally know that like apartheid ended in the 90s, which is just like,
that's crazy
to sit here and be like, wait,
So it was still actively going on when this song was. So that's probably why.
Yeah.
You write a song about it, especially as Black Americans. You look over at this other country, and be like, hey, this shit's fucked up. Apartheid.
Yeah, apartheid was from 1948 to the early 90s in South Africa and Southwest Africa, now Namibia. It's insane.
It is. Well, I really don't know enough about it to comment too much, but I got to go check it out.
Man.
Learn some history. All right. Well, thank you to Shantae, as always. And we're going to move on to